The cabin lights dimmed as Flight 287 climbed through the clouds, leaving behind the city lights that shimmered like broken glass below. In seat 12F, a quiet man stared out the window, no expression, no words, just a pair of tired eyes that had seen too much. His name was Ethan Cole, a single dad flying home to his 6-year-old daughter, Emma. To the passengers around him, he was just another traveler, worn-out hoodie, duffel bag under the seat, earbuds in. No one knew that the man in 12F used to go by another name, Titan I, the most decorated fighter pilot in his squadron. As the plane reached cruising altitude, turbulence shook the cabin lightly. A few passengers gasped. Ethan didn't even flinch. His hand instinctively pressed the armrest, calm, measured, trained. Then, as if haunted by muscle memory, he closed his eyes, hearing echoes of engines, alarms, and radio chatter from years ago. He was trying to leave that life behind, the medals, the missions, the memories of those who never made it home. All he wanted now was to raise Emma, bake her birthday cake next week, and maybe, just maybe, live an ordinary life. Halfway through the flight, the captain's voice crackled through the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing some unexpected issues with the navigation systems. Please remain calm while we troubleshoot." A murmur of unease spread. Flight attendants exchanged glances. Ethan glanced up too. Something in the tone of the captain's voice wasn't routine. He listened closely. The air felt different now, tight, tense. Moments later, through the window, Ethan saw two small dark shapes approaching from the clouds. At first, he thought his mind was playing tricks. But then the radio static from the cockpit echoed faintly through the cabin door, and he heard it. "Unidentified civilian aircraft, this is Falcon Lead. You have entered restricted airspace. Identify yourself immediately." The passengers panicked. A woman began to cry. Ethan's blood ran cold. He knew that voice. That was Major Ryan Falcon Hale, his old wingman. He unbuckled, stood, and walked to the galley despite the attendants' protests. "Sir, you need to stay seated." Ethan held up his ID, one that hadn't been shown in years. "Tell your captain to patch the radio to channel 110.9. Say that Titan I requests connection." The attendant blinked in confusion, but something in his tone, steady, commanding, made her move. Within seconds, the captain's trembling voice called him to the cockpit. Ethan stepped in, the door sealing behind him. On the other side of the glass, the F-22 Raptors hovered in tight formation, their sleek silver wings glinting in the fading sunlight. The captain handed him the headset, stammering. Who are you?" Ethan took it, eyes fixed on the horizon. "Falcon Lead, this is Titan I." A stunned silence filled the airwaves. Then came the familiar voice, almost disbelieving. "No way. Titan? You're supposed to be retired," Ethan finished. "Yeah. Just a single dad now, flying home. But you've got a glitch in your radar. This bird's clean." Ethan calmly guided the captain through a quick systems reset sequence, old instincts returning like clockwork. He explained the signals, the transponder issue, even suggested the exact coordinates to reroute safely out of restricted airspace. The F-22's adjusted course in perfect sync, verifying his call. Within minutes, the warning lights disappeared. The flight path stabilized. The threat was over. The passengers never knew how close they'd been to a disaster. When Ethan returned to his seat, passengers clapped, not because they knew who he was, but because the turbulence had ended. To them, he was still just a quiet single dad in 12F. He smiled faintly, pulled out his phone, and opened a photo, Emma grinning with two missing front teeth. He whispered, "Almost home, sweetheart." As Flight 287 landed smoothly an hour later, the crew received a message from air traffic control. "Compliments to Flight 287. Situation resolved thanks to passenger Ethan Cole, call sign Titan 1. The skies remember their heroes. The captain looked over the announcement and then glanced at Ethan as he deboarded, carrying his small duffel bag. "Sir," the captain said quietly, "thank you for today." Ethan just smiled. Just doing what dads do, keeping people safe. That night, Emma ran into his arms at the airport, laughing. He lifted her up, holding her close, finally at peace. And somewhere, high above the clouds, the radio crackled softly, the voices of the squadron saluting their brother one last time. Titan 1, welcome home.